Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful, beautiful world. Happy Friday. How are you doing today? Today, we're going to speak about the elephant in the room, which everyone knows, but no one speaks about. And knowing me, you're going to hear the truth as always, right? So what is that elephant? You know how some of the TEDx talks have thousands of millions of views, and some brilliant TED talks have like a few hundred or few thousand views. And that always puzzled me when I started, when I decided to become a TEDx coach. I started analyzing TEDx talk, and it was fascinating for me to really understand what makes one TEDx talk successful. And by successful, there's so many elements to say successful TEDx talk, but one of those elements is the amount of the views one TEDx talk has, simply because at the end of the day, you're doing a TEDx talk because you want to share your wisdom with the world. And the world means millions of views out there, meaning millions of people did watch your TEDx talk, your wisdom, and they got inspired. So what exactly drives that amount of views towards someone's TEDx talk? And that is what we're going to speak today. So if you're watching live, put a hashtag live. If you're watching it on a replay, put a hashtag replay. What we're going to talk about is much deep knowledge on the first key for how to make your TEDx talk viral. And I'm going to touch the second key because I've been speaking about the second key for success on that one for ages. And the second key, you constantly hear from me, you have to put social media hacks in your TEDx talk, right? In the description, you have to put the seven YouTube hacks, what you can implement in your TEDx talk. You've got hashtags, you've got tags, the keywords in your title, the keywords in the topic, in the category what you add, and in those 6 tags. All this is actually not the first key which drives a lot of millions of views towards your TEDx talk. The first one is exactly today's topics, which is called networks. And the reason why networks is the first key is because I want you to think about what can actually jumpstart your TEDx talk is the amount of the views which your people, your networks are gonna jump on the video and start watching it, because these people know you, they trust you already, they love you, they like you. It's a huge chance that when you send your URL link to those people, they will really get on and watch you and like it and comment it and share it with their network. So networks is the first key what you need to pay attention. Now, of course, if you start thinking what exactly is like what exactly is the first action to do, right? Because you've got 48 hours. Once your TEDx talk is published out there, what exactly is that first action? Well, let me tell you this. In those 48 hours, what is super important is to literally, before the 24 hours, the first 24 hours, to list every single network you're part of. You took like either very active and not that active participation, and just share it there with a very good message as of why they should watch your TEDx talk, why they should do it now, like why the first 24 hours is so important. The reason why it's so important, the first 24 hours, is because this is how you're telling the YouTube engine that your talk is totally worth watching, right? So by telling these people that it's so important to watch it now, you're actually helping the YouTube engine to trigger the second and the third key for the amount of the views what you're going to get for your talk. So here is how it works. You have to choose very wisely the networks what you're going to share with. So I'm not talking about all kind of networks. If your TED talk is about health and you go and you share it with I don't know, like let's say oh gosh, let's say like a construction building, and they don't care about, health right now. Not the best example, I would say, but this network is not going to be very responsible. So the networks you need to share with is every single person there who A, knows you, B, really is interesting in that topic, like huge probability to be interested. And one more thing, what I want to say is that the biggest mistake what people do when it comes to that moment to share it with their networks is that they got shy. Okay, and this is like literally like 50% of the people I speak with. The other 50 are like, no problem at all, I'm going to share it with the world, like all my possible networks. But the other 50%, if you're one of those people who gets shy to share your success in your TED Talks, right, then I want you to know this. I want you to change in your mind the way how you perceive the whole process. When you share your TEDx talk with those networks, it's you giving them opportunity to learn something new, to get inspired, to see a different angle of the problem what they've got. So don't think that you're interrupting your day. Don't think that, oh, this is quite pushy, oh, this is like really not nice way to get views. Actually, it is nice way. Otherwise, how the people are gonna discover you? To get to the second level of people, to get to the strangers who never heard of your name, never seen your face, you have to basically pass that level of your own discomfort to share it first with the people who know you, the people who absolutely love you. And you know that those networks are those people, but also those networks are really relevant to your topic. Okay, this is so important. And let's just get real about networks just for a second. I'm gonna go through the comments. Ingo is saying good morning from Toronto. Good morning, Ingo. I'm gonna be on Ingo's stage in 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something like this. So that's going to be absolutely amazing. And Michael is saying, thanks for sharing your knowledge and expertise. I agree with you that networking allows us to grow and build relationships. It may give you an opportunity to collaborate and share your opportunity for further learning. Thanks again for your informative video. You're so welcome, Michael. Absolute pleasure. So let's just go through back to the truth about networks. And by the way, our topic today, Ingo, big shout out to you, because today's topic for my live podcast was inspired by you. So thank you so much, my lovely. Thank you for being in my network and opening up even more networks, because you opened 2 or 3 different networks for me. So let's just talk about the networks for a second and the truth there. If you're like me, here is what I do. I was up until last year, I was a member of a hell of a lot of Facebook groups. I think like at some point I had 63 Facebook groups, that bad. I had a lot of LinkedIn groups I was member of. And in addition, I was member of all my professional networking. So I'm talking about professional speaking, I'm talking about LinkedIn, I'm talking about social media, another group which is networking group for marketing specialists and events. So it was a lot going on. And what I did last year, the first thing what I did was to ditch off my Facebook group. So now I'm a member of 2 Facebook groups. And the reason why I did that, and also lower down the LinkedIn groups. So the reason why I did that is because if I'm part and a member of a networking group, I want to make sure that I'm active there. I want to make sure that I'm present. I give value to the people who are in the group, the way how I expect them to also, cherish our relationship, but also give a lot of value back. Okay. So I lower it down. Right now, I'm part of only 6 networking groups. That's it, for 6 of them. And I know that on a daily basis, I go, I check the messages, I participate, and really give my best. And here is my thought process, okay, going back, and I want this to really serve you. So we cannot do everything in our day. We've got only 24 hours. So I've heard so many motivational speakers talking about it, and it's unbelievable. Like it just like I completely disagree. If you do something, do it very present way, and in a full power of not just giving and receiving, but from a point of getting to know the other people around you, okay? And this is the only way how, when it comes to TEDx, and the moment when you share your TED Talks in those networks, this is when really people, because they absolutely love you, this is where they not only gonna watch your TED Talk, but they're gonna share it with their networks. So the power of networking is not in having like 63 Facebook groups as me up until last year, but really having a small amount on a quantity, but a huge quality there, which is quality coming first from you towards the other people, and then the other way around. Okay, so be very careful with this. And then I continue thinking about that process. Okay, so if I don't have time on a daily basis, even with my 6 networking groups, I go as often as I can, but sometimes it's only once a day. Sometimes it's like once every 2 days. But if you want to keep much wider, much bigger networking numbers, then you will always hit that problem that you're not going to have enough time, because at the end of the day, you have to also do work, you have family, you've got so many other things, and the me time, which is super important for our mental health. So this is what triggered in me to actually create a Patreon community, because I was thinking, if I create a community specifically for TEDx speakers, those of you who always wanted to become TEDx speakers but not yet being on stage, and those who already have been on TEDx and you became a TEDx speaker but you didn't really take the best advantage, the best opportunity what a TED Talk can give you and your business and your life and everything for you, then I created that Patreon community so I can bring all of you together, and regardless how active everyone is in that networking group, I personally want to shout out every time when someone becomes a TEDx speaker, or we're running specific campaigns for the whole networking Patreon community, what I created. So everyone else can go and really support that person by supporting, meaning to watch the video, to like it, to comment it, to share it with their networking. So I created a very special TEDx community on Patreon. So it's gonna be really creating that very first key for success for your viral TEDx. So of course, I'm talking about the first key all the time, but I want to also talk today, and I'm going to check comments in a second, but I want to touch base on the second key element that can unlock a lot of opportunities for you. So let me just check the comments very quickly. Okay, so Maria is saying, good evening from Japan. Appreciate your practical advice and love your positive vibes. Thank you so much. I'm sending a lot of love and energy to Japan, Maria. And shout out to Maria right now. She's writing an amazing script for her TED Talk, and the topic is gosh, it's huge. Like, that's all I'm gonna say, because I don't want to spill out the beans, right? But what Maria wants to present to the world is huge, and it's gonna touch the whole Japanese nationality and Japan as a country. Okay, that's huge. It's just amazing. So thank you so much for Maria, for your bravity to talk about difficult topics, especially for something which jeopardizes the whole nation. So Ingrid is saying, love tuning into your awesome stream. There is always so much value here. Thank you so much. Michael is saying, my dream is to complete a TED Talk one day. Well, one day, just make it soon, right? Action. Camera, action. So yes, Michael, it's totally up to you when you're going to take that action. And as long as you start that journey, I promise you, it's a lot of fun. Like it's a lot of fun, because crafting the whole message and then diffusing it, which is today's talk, is a lot. And speaking about this, I'm gonna speak on stage next Friday, where I'm going to share my 20, 30, 50 formula for successful TEDx journey. So join me. I'm going to announce on my LinkedIn the register. No, sorry, I did already post it. So this morning I shared the live. So go and do add it to your calendar, so you're going to come and join it and watch the 20, 30, 50 formula for success. Ingo is saying it's awesome, Biljana. Thank you so much. Let's just go back to the key elements for your success. So what I basically start with is that in the first 24 hours, you have to use all your networks to jumpstart your talk, okay? Then you've got another 24 hours. So this is in total the first 48 hours since your talk was published. Now, if in the first 48 hours in total, so if people didn't respond from your networks in the first 24 hours, because let's face it again, truth here, okay? When you send in the networks or individual messages, people right now are like, God knows where they are in the world. They might be cooking, just about to go to sleep, drinking their morning coffee, like I don't know, like doing something, God knows what. So they might be busy right now and they couldn't watch your TEDx talk. What is important is to reiterate your message on the second day. This is the first 48 hours. So here's the trick, and I'm gonna give you part of one of my strategies. On the second day, what you can do, instead of going to the same networking saying, did you please, did you guys watch my TED Talk? Please, please, it's so important. Instead of doing it this way, I don't like it this way, okay? But that's me, of course. If it kind of feels like begging, okay? So a lot more intelligent way, I would say, is to go back to the networks and send a thank you message. If this is a network, to say thank you so much for every one of you who watch my TED Talk. It really means a lot for me. I want you to get to 5,000 views, and I achieved 6,000 views. It's thanks to you. Thank you so much for doing that for me. I really appreciate you. In this way, because you send a second message in the first 48 hours, whoever read the first time message but didn't watch it, now they're gonna watch it. In these 48 hours, now they're gonna watch your TED Talk. So literally what's gonna happen for you is that the first 24 hours you're gonna get X amount of views, but the second 24 hours, that is gonna keep growing simply because of that second thank you message in your networking community. Now, of course, there will be people who didn't see the first message. So don't just send one message and like, okay, I'm done. That doesn't work like this. The second message, what you're going to put with the thank you, although it's a thank you message, people are going to actually go and watch now your TED Talk for first time. So it's so important the first 24 hours to send that message to your networks, but the second 24 hours, second day, to send the second message. So networks are going to keep watching it. Now, the third day, it's kind of like what else? If you can think about a third message, like 1, 2, and the third message, then go ahead and send on the third day, like keep updating them like, oh my God, I got to 10,000 views. That's great, okay? But if you cannot think of a relevant message, which is not pushy, it's not begging, it's not like salesy and sleazy and like this style, then yeah, don't do this kind of messages. But if it's something really inspiring and showing your gratitude and love, just go for it, okay? But what's gonna happen after the first 48 hours, because this is now YouTube, okay? So purely digital right now here, knowledge. The moment when you jumpstart your TED Talk, YouTube is now like, something is really good about this video. Let me just check it. Okay, so what YouTube does, there is an artificial intelligence behind the scene, and what the YouTube check is like this, priority-wise. It first checks the keywords from your title, okay? And if you don't know the rest and you don't know social media hacks for YouTube, that is where you're gonna finish, okay? So YouTube is gonna be like, okay, let me just pick these keywords, check the habits and all the information about every single 5,000 person who already watched that talk in the first two days, first 48 hours. And let's just distribute it based on all this information. Let's just distribute it to complete strangers out there. I'm talking about 2.6 billion people right now on YouTube. So this is how YouTube decides which of those strangers are going to be interested in your video. Okay. Now, the second key element for success is what majority of the people don't do. I'm talking about 99% of TEDx speakers don't do this. So I add hashtags, 3 hashtags, six tags, a very special category, which is called topic on the TEDx platform, and a few more elements which are hidden for the video, okay? But the hashtags are very visible. So what happens is that you don't just give the keywords from your title, you also give keywords from your 3 hashtags. And so these are three keywords there, or combinations of keywords. Then you've got the 6 tags. Then you've got the categories. So we're talking about like at least 10 keywords in addition to the keywords of your title. This is 11 keywords more for YouTube to decide which strangers are going to be super interested in your video. This is what is the second key element. However, you're going to constantly hear me talking about those 7 hacks, okay? But they're not going to be triggered. They're not going to work. They're not going to serve you if you did not do the very first one, which is using your network, because this is so important. And that is the reason why I created the Patreon. Like the Patreon community, one of the many reasons why I created the Patreon community is because I want you to create that community. Even you don't have time every day to participate in community, then these people will really be supportive and share your TED Talk, like it and comment it. It's like on LinkedIn, there is something called engagement pods. And all social media, Facebook as well. So there is engagement pod. So I literally, with the Patreon community, I created an engagement pod basically for TEDx Talks. So that is a good one. I'm gonna go and put it in my Patreon community that this is engagement pod style. So let me just check very quickly the comments. Michael is saying, absolutely, totally agree. Action is a key for getting started. Thank you and really enjoy your positive advice. Thank you so much, Michael. Looking forward to learning from you next week then. Thank you so much, Ingo. I'm twice on stage next week, on Tuesday and Friday. And I'm on stage with Ingo literally in 2 hours. So tune in because she is amazing lady. And here's something what I want to share with you. If you don't follow Ingo, please go and follow her, because this is the lady who is going to introduce you to so many networks on LinkedIn. It's just unbelievable. It's like opening the Pandora box, actually. It's like a door of I don't know, like a huge stadium, like Wembley Stadium. So So please go and follow her, and do come and watch her podcast, because she talks about Ubuntu. Ubuntu is a networking. So in 2.5 hours, you're going to hear it. So going back to our topic, networking is so important. But again, just to keep briefly, Ingo, you're so welcome. My absolute pleasure to be on your stage in a bit, but also to shout out for you. So what I want to finish with is to really give you a catch up that network is the first key element, what you're gonna have to open the opportunity for your TEDx talk to be viral. Everything which is digital, social media, and YouTube hacks is the second key. But the YouTube engine is not going to be triggered and start reading that digital data unless in the first 48 hours you blast your network and you get your people who like you already, who know you, and they totally are in love with you, and they watch, so they can actually jumpstart the views and then trigger the YouTube engine. So this is in short. Thank you so much for coming today. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Don't forget to follow me on LinkedIn and YouTube, and click the subscribe button and the bell button as well on LinkedIn, which is new feature on LinkedIn. When you go to my profile, please do it now. When you go to my profile, you've got on the right hand side next to my name, you've got the little bell button. So make sure that it's active, so you got notified every time when I go live. On YouTube, you know that the bell button bottom right corner. So subscribe for my channel. My channel is only with my live podcast. So this is the place where if you want to literally only just watch my podcast videos, this is on my YouTube channel. That's the best place to go and watch them. And yes, I think this is just a quick reminder that if you already follow my newsletter, which is the soon to be a TEDx speaker newsletter, we rebranded, and it is the new name now, the Red Dot Speaker Star program, the Red Dot Speaker Star podcast, which is this right now, and the Red Dot Speaker Star newsletter, which goes out every Wednesday. So we completely changed the name. So if you wonder, like, what the hell is the Red Dot Speaker Star right now, like, I'm totally lost, this is still me. It is still talking about TEDx tips and hacks and beautiful ideas about your TEDx talk. Thank you so much. I'm sending you love and energy wherever you are around this beautiful world. And I'm going to see you next Friday. Have an amazing, super, super cool Friday.